We all do it, right?
Hmm.
There's this human thing where we're always planning, always pushing.
Yeah, trying to control every little detail.
Exactly. We think, okay, if I just map this out, push harder, never let go,
Hmm.
then success, happiness, it'll all just appear.
But it doesn't always work like that, does it?
No. Honestly, so often, despite all that effort, you just end up feeling, well, frustrated, exhausted even.
Like you're fighting against something.
Yeah, like you're sort of at war with the way life actually flows.
And that feeling, that struggle,
Mhm.
it really brings us to this gentle but deep truth from Buddhist wisdom. The more we cling, the more we suffer.
Mm.
So for this deep dive, we're kind of asking a different question. What if real success, true happiness, isn't found in all that striving?
What if it's somewhere else?
Exactly. What if it's in a deeper trust, in
Yeah.
surrender? And when we say letting go, we need to be clear.
Right, it's not just giving up.
Not at all. It's more about releasing the illusion that we have to control everything to be okay.
Yeah.
You know, making space.
That really hits home. So today, yeah, we're diving deep into this whole art of letting go.
Mm-hmm.
We're drawing on insights from a YouTube video transcript. It's called Stay Calm and Let the Universe Deliver What You Deserve from the Deepest Wisdom channel.
Sounds fascinating.
It is. And our mission really is to unpack how stepping into what the Source calls the mystery of life.
Which means embracing the unpredictable, right?
Exactly. The messy, nonlinear stuff. How doing that through stillness and trust can actually draw what we want to us, often in ways we never saw coming.
Okay, let's get into it.
So first up, a really foundational idea from the Source. Your energy is the message the universe understands.
Okay.
The video suggests the world doesn't really respond to our noise. You know, the frantic worry, the pushing.
It responds to something quieter.
Yes. To our, let's call it inner resonance, our quiet vibration. It's not like a sound wave, but more the frequency of our thoughts, our emotions, our beliefs.
The unspoken signal we're constantly putting out.
Precisely.
And the teaching explains this really well, I think. When that inner energy comes from peace, from gratitude, from trust, life starts to mirror that harmony back.
You notice little things.
Yeah, subtle shifts,
Yeah.
things just aligning, opportunities popping up right when you need them. And it's not just luck, you see. It's alignment, life responding to your energy.
But what about effort? Does effort play a role?
That's a great point. The Source suggests that even effort, when it comes from peace, not desperation, is a powerful energy broadcast. It's not about sitting back and doing nothing.
It's about how you do it.
Exactly, aligning your inner state first. But conversely, if you're full of fear, anxiety, that clinging we talked about,
That sends a different signal.
a scattered one, a signal of lacking, and life then reflects that emptiness back, not like a punishment, you know?
More like a mirror.
Yes, exactly, a mirror showing you where your energy needs some healing.
Wow. That really goes against the grain, doesn't it? The common idea that you just have to hustle harder.
It does.
The Source says something that stuck with me. Effort without inner peace is like running in circles.
Powerful.
You're moving, maybe sweating, but not getting anywhere. And this line, the more we force life, the more life resists. The more we trust it, the more it flows.
Makes you stop and think.
It really does. What frequency am I actually broadcasting right now? Our inner state is always sending that signal.
Absolutely. And it's crucial to get this. The universe isn't just responding to how badly you want something.
It's about alignment.
Yes, how aligned you are with it. The Source is clear. When your inner world begins to feel like the life you desire, the outer world gently begins to match it.
So it's not an action.
No, not at all. It's about, as the Source puts it, doing less from fear and more from clarity, shifting from that desperate push to a kind of calm confidence.
Okay, so if our energy shapes reality, that leads right into this paradox the Source talks about.
Which is...
The more we try to control, the more we block things. Which brings us to lesson 2. Let go or be held back.
Yes, the control paradox.
It's so human, isn't it? We want things a certain way. We make plans, cling to timelines. It comes from needing safety, predictability.
Understandable, but often.
That very grip becomes the block, the thing stopping what we want.
The Source uses a great analogy here. Picture trying to hold water tightly in your hand.
It just slips through.
Exactly. The harder you squeeze, the more you lose. Life's like that.
Yeah.
Ripping outcomes, people, the future.
Yeah.
It creates tension, resistance.
Both inside you and
Yeah.
out there.
Yes. And that tension pushes away the peace, the clarity, the abundance you're actually hoping for. But again, it's key. Letting go doesn't mean you become passive or indifferent.
So what does it mean practically?
It means you move with intention, but you let go of being attached to how it has to happen.
Like the Source says, you act, but you don't force. You plant seeds, but you don't pull them out to check if they're growing.
Exactly. And that applies internally too, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, think about how we try to micromanage our thoughts or judge our emotions, reacting out of fear.
Right. Trying to control the inner world too.
Precisely. When you soften that inner grip, allow thoughts to pass like clouds, emotions to rise and fall, you create inner space.
And that space is where change happens.
That's where transformation can actually occur. The teaching says, letting go is not the end of ambition, it is the beginning of alignment.
So the vision stays.
The vision remains, but the desperate clinging stops. And that allows what's truly meant for you to flow in. Often it's even better than what you were trying to force.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And this idea of inner space, it connects perfectly to the next point.
Which is?
Lesson 3, the wisdom found in quiet spaces.
Silence.
Yeah, this crazy, noisy world, silence feels almost forgotten, doesn't it? We're just bombarded.
Constantly.
But this Buddhist wisdom offers a reminder. The deepest truths are not found in sound. They are discovered in stillness.
And silence here means more than just no noise, right?
Much more. The Source calls it a sacred space where clarity begins to breathe.
I like that.
When we quiet the outside world, let our minds soften, we start to hear things.
Things that were always there.
Yeah, like intuition. That quiet guidance. The wisdom underneath all the mental chatter. The Source uses that analogy of the mind as a lake.
Yeah.
When the surface is calm, you can see the depths clearly. But when stirred by endless motion, all becomes murky.
That's a powerful image.
So silence isn't empty. It's fullness without distraction. And maybe even a kind of power.
How do you mean power?
Well, the Source mentions the strength of choosing not to react, the confidence of holding space rather than frantically filling it. In a world shouting, choosing quiet is strength.
I see. So retreating into that inner silence helps you align with the natural flow of things.
You stop resisting, stop chasing.
And the answers start to arrive quietly.
Exactly. As the teaching puts it, silence is how the universe speaks. It's how truth reveals itself not in chaos, but in calm. Find stillness, create space, let insight find you.
That quiet power, it naturally flows into the next insight, doesn't it, about time?
It does. Lesson 4, flowing with time, not against it.
Which is hard in our culture.
So hard. We have this addiction to immediacy. Patience feels almost obsolete. We want everything now. But the Source offers this perspective. Life unfolds when it's ready, not when we demand it.
And trusting that rhythm.
It's called a radical act of faith.
That's profound. And there's such a comforting idea in the Source, too. Just because something hasn't arrived yet doesn't mean it's lost.
Oh, I loved that part.
Delay is not denial. Often it's divine preparation.
Divine preparation, not just waiting, but getting ready.
Exactly. It's not about just sitting back passively. It's realizing that our impatience can actually cloud the path. Allowing space for that preparation or just for things to mature naturally can open doors we couldn't have forced.
So letting go of the timeline softens the anxiety.
Yes, it lets you walk in step with life itself instead of always trying to race ahead.
And again, it's not passivity, it's presence. Like the Source points out, using nature.
The tree and the river.
Yeah. A tree does not bloom in winter. A river does not rush to the ocean. It just flows patiently, trusting its path.
So those pauses, the waiting times, they aren't empty.
No, they're sacred spaces where growth takes root.
Where the next chapter is quietly being written, not by our pushing, but by something bigger.
So trusting the timing means you stop trying to bend the world to your will.
And you allow it to open naturally, and peace comes back because, as the Source says so beautifully,
what is meant for you cannot miss you.
Such a reassuring thought.
It really is. Okay, now for something truly transformative connecting all these threads.
I'm ready.
Lesson 5. You receive what you believe you're whistle of.
Ooh, okay. This is deep.
It is. The wisdom here is that your outer life is shaped by your inner belief. The universe acts like a mirror, reflecting back what you, deep down, believe you deserve.
Not just what you want or how hard you try.
No, it's about your core belief of worthiness.
So if you start to see yourself as inherently worthy of good things, peace, love, joy,
Not because you earned it, but just because you are, like it's your birthright.
then life starts to show you that truth.
That's the idea. You stop fighting, stop chasing. You just start living as if you belong in that space you maybe felt unworthy of before. and the universe meets you there.
And the flip side.
If you carry those deep beliefs of being undeserving, that inner script, it quietly sabotages things.
You miss opportunities. Settle for less.
Exactly. But the universe isn't punishing you.
It's just echoing the belief you hold as real.
Right. So to attract what you truly want, you first have to believe you're ready for it, that you deserve it.
That's a huge point, believing you're worthy. But what about those really stubborn, deep-seated limiting beliefs? You know, the ones from way back. How does this teaching address actually changing those?
That's a key question. The Source calls them illusions created by fear.
Okay.
And it brings in that Buddhist teaching. All suffering arises from attachment, and often we're most attached to the negative beliefs about ourselves.
Wow, attached to the negative stuff.
Yeah, but the reframe is powerful. You are not those thoughts. You are the awareness behind it all, the open sky, not the passing storm.
Ah, separating yourself from the thought.
Exactly. Making that shift means you stop shrinking, stop sabotaging, you start showing up differently. And then the universe can open doors because, well, you're finally standing there, ready, with open hands.
What you believe, you become.
And what you become, you attract.
Powerful.
And that flows beautifully into our next lesson, doesn't it?
It does. Lesson 6, calmness, the hidden key to receiving.
Our culture loves speed, ambition. Calmness can seem almost weak sometimes.
Like a luxury, maybe.
Right. But Buddhist teachings see it totally differently. Calmness is not an escape from life. It is a way of being fully alive.
Fully alive through calmness. Interesting.
It's described as the presence of clear, unwavering awareness, and maybe surprisingly, a powerful way to manifest what you desire.
So calmness isn't inaction either.
No, it's doing the right things from a grounded, peaceful state. When your inner energy is still, like that quiet lake.
It reflects life without distortion.
Exactly. And it sends a silent invitation to the universe.
Mm.
In that stillness, doubt fades, the frantic need to control dissolves.
And the universe flows towards you with clarity, not chaos. And, you know, there's another benefit here that's often missed.
What's that?
That kind of deep calmness helps you detach from what everyone else thinks, from external validation, that lets you see your own true path much more clearly.
That's a great point. So when you're calm, you stop pushing against life, stop swimming upstream.
You align with the current.
And things come through flow, not force.
Which again highlights that calmness isn't passivity, it's alignment, deep alignment.
Your actions aren't frantic. Your intentions are clear, but without that desperate grip on the outcome.
And the state allows for what the Source calls quiet miracles.
Quiet miracles, I like that.
Crucially, calmness gives you detachment from the timing of your desires.
Back to timing.
Yes, it lets you live in rhythm with something wiser, something far more generous than your own expectations. Calmness is like the fertile soil.
Where your intentions can actually take root.
Exactly, attracting what's truly meant for you.
Okay, and that brings us full circle, back to the core theme, our final insight.
Lesson 7. Letting go the doorway to the unseen.
While ambition pushes us to control, this wisdom offers that quieter truth. What you let go of often returns in greater form. What you release creates space for the miraculous.
It's not about giving up on your dreams.
No, it's surrendering the weight of needing them to happen exactly your way, on your schedule.
But why is letting go so hard? Why do we resist it?
Well, the Source suggests that resistance comes from being attached to how life should be.
Our expectations.
Right, and that attachment, ironically, blocks the blessings trying to reach us. Letting go is like stepping aside.
Allowing a greater intelligence, the flow of life, to guide things?
Yes, it uses that seed analogy again. You don't tug on it to make it grow. You place it gently in the soil, water it, trust the sunlight, and wait.
You tend it, but you don't force it.
Exactly.
And a huge part of this must be letting go of fear, right?
Definitely. Fear of losing something, fear of not being enough, fear that life just won't work out the way you planned.
And when you release that fear...
The Source says you open up to a deeper truth. Life often gives you more than you imagined, just not in the form you expected. Trusting the unexpected outcome.
It really hammers home that the universe responds to openness, not to our tight control. And maybe the real miracle isn't getting the specific thing you wanted.
But who you become in the process.
Yes. Who you become by learning to wait, to trust, to soften, trusting that it is good, even when you don't get it. That allows the unexpected good to arrive with grace.
It shows that the less you demand things must be a certain way.
The more space you create for life to surprise you with how beautiful it can be.
So, wrapping this all up, Maybe the gentle reminder is just this. You don't need to chase what's already on its way to you.
Hmm.
That peace, that love, that success, it's not found in forcing things. It unfolds when you quiet the inner noise, loosen that
It
grip.
trusts the rhythm of your own becoming. The core teaching from this deep dive really nails it. The path is not built by striving, but by surrender.
Surrender, not giving up.
Exactly. And maybe a final thought to hold on to. You're not behind. You're not broken. You are right where you need to be.
Growing, guided.
Guided by things maybe bigger than we can fully grasp right now.
So the invitation is, let go.
Hmm.
Breathe a bit deeper, walk a little slower, trust more.
And just watch. Watch how life meets you not in the fight, but in the stillness.
Because the moment you stop forcing,
That's the moment everything begins to flow.